Good morning from super sunny Salzburg in Austria, where I've just arrived to track down one of the country's true cultural and entertainment icons, one that has inspired multiple generations and really defined entire genres. Have you guessed who it is? Of course, Mickey Mouse. That's right, I've come down to track down the origins of Mickey Mouse in Austria. And if you're going to say Mozart, well, either you don't know this channel very well, which is entirely plausible, or you haven't read the video description. However, what could be of Mickey Mouse in Austria, I hear you ask? The product of Walt Disney, the American animator. Well, around 2 hours drive south of Salzburg is a tiny village called Malta. And over 20 years ago, during renovations of one of the local churches in Malta, they discovered a very ancient fresco, 700 years old, something like that, that depicted, that's right, you guessed it right this time, Mickey Mother effing Mouse himself. 700 years old, predating Walt Disney's supposed invention by a good 650 years. So how could this be possible? Well, 20 years ago, when the Mickey Mouse fresco was uncovered, there was a bit of a media storm. Lots of online reports about this Mickey Mouse discovery, a few images floating around. But since that time, surprisingly, news of Mickey Mouse has gone more or less dead. And if you have a look on the internet, you can find a couple of pictures, but there's not a whole great bunch of information. So I've come down to Salzburg, and in a moment I'm going to be driving down to Malta to see if we can track down the church and track down the fresco of Mickey Mouse. I've got no idea if it's still going to be there, if it's going to be open, or where indeed the fresco is in the church, as information online is few and far between. But that's the adventure, that's the challenge for today. So join me in a moment as we're going to head south and see if we can track down the true origins of Mickey Mouse. Let's go. Wait, no, this isn't the trip from Mozart. Yeah. Mickey Mouse, let's go. Mickey Mouse, fresco. Mickey Mouse, let's go. All right, we've got our wheels, let's get on the road. I'm unwell. Well, at least there's a lovely drive on the way to our Malta village and Mickey Mouse fresco. Some rather spectacular snow-capped mountains in the background in the early spring sun. So yeah, if I can't find the Mickey Mouse fresco, hopefully it wasn't too much of a wasted trip. Well, we've just arrived at our village of Malta in southern Austria after a 1.5 to 2 hour drive from Salzburg, and well, as you can see in the background behind me, a little sign depicting Malta, our village. We found it. I can't immediately see the church, but we're going to head across the road and see if we can locate that in a minute. I was just reading up on the discovery of the Mickey Mouse fresco, and there were reports at the time that shopkeepers in the local village just behind me were hoping that there would be some boom times ahead in business as Mickey Mouse devotees would flock to the village to see the mysterious Mickey Mouse fresco. But I have to say, having a look across the road at the village and indeed the parking lot, it doesn't look like boom times ever came. But that was 23 years ago. That article was a long time. So let's head over and see if we can find our mystery Mickey Mouse church. Right, well, as we make our way around the mean streets of Malta to try and find our, hold on. Very rude indeed. As I was saying, as we make our way round the noisy and hustle and bustle of the Malta village to find our church, I'm also going to try and pop into, I think there's a pub in this village, one, to have a pint, and two, to see if I can speak to some local villagers and shop owners to see if there ever was boom times in light of the discovery of the Mickey Mouse fresco. But still, first we have to find out if indeed it's still there. Just walking past someone's house and they have a rather epic cow-themed postbox. Well done to them. All sorts of wonders can be found in the village of Malta. Right, well, you might be able to see that just over my shoulder I have successfully located Malta's parish church. So it's just around the corner, and even better news, it's just across the road from what I think is Malta's only pub. So we might also be able to get a pint after our hard and exceptionally important work locating Mickey Mouse fresco. But let's head on up and round and see if we can find it. Maltaberg. That sounds promising, but we have arrived at the perimeter of our local parish church, and there's of course there's a medieval church about 700 years old, from the 13th century or so, and some quite old looking perimeter wall. Let's head on up, see if we can actually get in here. Right, well, we've come into a little courtyard area with some gravestones. So yeah, let's see if we can locate Mr. Mouse. There's a few little paintings or frescoes I can see on the side of the building. We'll do a little tour of the outside and see what we can find. You can see that there's some frescoes you'd probably expect to be on a church, of some religious scenes, some religious characters there adorned on the side. I'm not actually sure if our Mickey Mouse frescoes on the outside or inside, or even if it's still here. I don't know what's happened to it after the discovery. Apparently it was a little bit water damaged when it was discovered, so it might not even be here still, but we'll have a look around and do our best to find it. Well, just behind me over my shoulder is this big clock tower, and if I turn my camera around, we've got a couple of clock faces on this clock tower. There's the main one, and then there's one just to the side and beneath it, which it looks like that one's been installed over, and another one beneath that one again. And I don't know if they had a couple of attempts to to paint the clock onto the building, or if they just got it wrong in the first place, but there seems to be three on there, or maybe the other two are some sort of astronomical clock or calendar, probably more likely, as that one's got a little symbol of a sun on the side. So well, we found some more things painted onto the side of the building, but it's not our friend Mickey Mouse. So the hunt goes on, and we'll just complete our trip of the perimeter to see if we can locate any more. And oh, there is, again, it's not our mouse, but there is a rather large fresco of, I think it's the big man himself, Jesus. And well, at the top, I don't know if you can make that out, his head is in shade, but it's got quite an interesting expression with exceptionally large pupils, almost like he might be a bit high or has engaged in a little bit of ganja or something, but yeah, rather large pupils and a slightly odd expression on his face. So the painters of this had fun, and he's also holding a little, what looks to be a cherub up to his ear, almost like a little telephone. Very interesting. He's also got a kind of a 3D belt going on, which, although it's painted onto the side of the wall, the belt is kind of carved into the side of the church. So quite interesting. Oh, I think I found him. I found our mouse. There he is. Guys, we've done it. We've located Mickey Mouse. He's at the foot of this other fresco of Christ. Mickey Mouse is just chilling at the feet of Christ himself. And yeah, I don't know if you can make that out on the wall, but there, unmistakable. I'll just zoom in a bit so you can see more clearly. That is our Mickey Mouse fresco. And look, you can see the unmistakable big ears of Mickey Mouse. He's got the little sort of upturned nose and a little cheeky expression on his face. Of course you would have a cheeky expression on your face while sitting at the feet of Christ himself on this fresco, but it's quite odd. 700 years old, this apparently. And yeah, just painted onto the side of this church. And I'm guessing it would have been covered, this fresco, until, yeah, as I said, 2 decades or so ago, when it was uncovered by some art historians and made visible for the world to see. But it is a curious looking character, unlike everything I've ever seen before. Well, I'm glad we actually found him, at least, and this trip wasn't wasted. No, there, we've got him on the south-facing wall, where this big fresco of Jesus Christ is. So undoubtedly, when you all want to come and have a look yourself, that's where you can find him. Not protected from the elements at all, so yeah, I guess it does look quite weathered already, but quite impressive that it's lasted this long, I suppose. Well guys, mission success. We found our fresco of Mickey Mouse here in the tiny village of Malta in southern Austria. But in case you're wanting a more realistic or accurate explanation as to what that fresco actually depicts, I've got good news for you, because I did a little bit of research online, and apparently when it was uncovered 2 decades ago by art historians, who are of course experts on this matter, they gave their professional opinion as to what it is. So what did they say? Well, apparently it depicts a weasel. And the reason its ears are so large in the depiction is because in medieval times, when of course this church would have been constructed and the fresco painted, they believed weasels gave birth through their ears. So there you go. That's the true explanation. And of course that makes perfect sense. Much more sense than it being a Mickey Mouse fresco. But there you go. What do you think it is? Well, the bells are ringing here at our parish church in Malta, and that can only mean one thing. It's beer o'clock, because the time has just hit 2 in the afternoon, and apparently that's where our guest house Kramer, just opposite the parish church, opens on a Saturday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm going to go and see if we can get a nice little pint to end our mouse hunting fresco. Well, it's locked. It's locked. I can't say I'm altogether surprised, even though it's past 2 o'clock, and well, Google's never wrong, is it, on its opening hours of places? How disappointing. Such a lovely day. I would love a pint. Let's see if there's somewhere to get in around the other side, maybe. Aha. Yes.
Hello.
Right, well, success, guys. We've got into our local pub and we've got a fresh pint poured for us. Thank you very much. Dankeschön. Here we go. Thirsty work. So I came to find the fresco of the Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
On the church.
Have you found it?
I found it, yes, on the wall beneath the. Is it Jesus, the big fresco?
Yes, you can see it from here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and it made news when it was discovered like 20 years ago, I think.
Yes, I think it was also in the Chinese TV. So.
Oh, okay.
We had different people in here.
Big news in China, and. Yeah, did you have quite a lot of people coming to see it at that time? I don't know if you were hit around at that, yeah?
I think it's about, I was a child at these days.
Yeah, you're too young. I'm old, so yeah.
My mom was here working, and there were a lot of people, a lot of foreign people.
Okay.
Just looking for it, yes.
Yeah, a lot of people came. But since then, I guess it's maybe not so many now, or?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
A few people, even when there are buses or something like that,
yeah.
Going upstairs. But the rest, I don't think.
Yeah, not so much anymore. But after this video is published, of course, there's going to be a whole lot more. So guys, when you found the Mickey Mouse fresco, just pop next door to the, what is the name of the pub?
Karma.
Karma, okay. That's a better pronunciation than what I said outside. Come to Karma pub, get yourself a pint. It is open at 2 o'clock on a Saturday, and then you can come and quench your thirst after finding Mickey Mouse fresco. So cheers. Okay, so we're having our pint and been told about a local card game. And what is it called again?
Preiswarten.
Preiswarten.
It's called Viererwarten because 4 people are playing it.
4 people, okay, so not very good with just the 2 of us, but you're going to show me something about it. So we've got this set of cards for this game, and unlike a regular deck of cards, or I say regular deck of cards that I'd be used to with hearts, spades, clubs, etc. But there's around, she was saying, 20 to 30 different games you play with these, and she was just telling me that actually there's a group of people in the other week who came into this bar and they started the game at 7 o'clock in the evening and they didn't leave till about 4 or 5 a.m. the next day, and they all put in sort of 25 euros or so into a pot, and the winner takes all at the end of it. And I'm guessing if you're drinking at the same time as that, then you're probably not going to be very much good at playing by the end of it. But okay, so this is a score sheet.
Yes, from Preiswarten.
Okay.
You see the green points
Yeah.
are always a win game. The red points, you lose. So the N here, it's called Nachkauf.
Right.
When you lose 3 times, you have the option to pay 10 euro. So you can play another game.
Yeah. Okay, so on this, wow. So the people with green are better players at this game.
Yes.
Okay. So who's the champion? Oh, this person here.
No, that's the 3rd one.
Okay.
The champion here is the 2nd one.
Number 2. Oh, that's their ranking.
Yes.
The number.
It's all handmade, so
I love this. This is great.
here's the winner.
Okay. Ah, it's a team of 2 people.
Yes, always a team of 2.
Okay. And they're the champions. Number 1 in the column, the champion at this game. And how do you have to update this regularly then? Because if they
Yes.
are not, and you have to rewrite this whole page again.
Yes.
Wow. This is a serious business, and you've got a lot of players clearly.
Yes, I think this time it was 46 teams.
Okay.
So 92 people, yes.
Wow. Anyway, that concludes our mission here in Malta, in Austria. And wow, what a lovely place. Very hospitable. A beautiful church, Mickey Mouse fresco, and a nice little pub to round it all off. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.